he might quote-unquote coast to a victory. I know you're very confident, but how do you see him stylistically? Because certainly you're going to push it.
I'm gonna sprint straight for him. I won't give him a second. I'm gonna go in with my hands raised. I'm gonna be talking to him while I'm whooping him at the same time, the same way I do to them all. I feel Aldo has made a career out of being short, stocky wrestlers that are not good on the feet and more intimidated on the feet, and they shoot from halfway across the cage. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna be on top of him from the bell. I will break Jose Aldo.
We should ask about that confrontation you had after your fight. I know we've talked about it a little, you talked about it at the Q&A, but what did you feel like you saw in his eyes when you jumped out there?
I saw his eyes turn to glass. Yeah, you can laugh and you can smile all you want, but I could see, you know what I mean? Where was he when it was time to step into the cage? You know what I mean? He was flown over to step into this cage, but all of a sudden, superstition. He was superstitious for some reason. He doesn't step inside the cage, and that's fun unless he's fighting. But that's funny because there's many occasions where he has been in the cage where he hasn't fought. Superstitious to me is another word for fear. I will break him mentally, and I will break him physically.
Well, he's not used to. He's not used. Aldo is not used to trash talk a lot with his opponents. But he brought a poster to your fight.
Yeah, it was cute.
How did you see that? Do you think you were kind of getting to his mind?
I thought it was a stupid little poster. I mean, they make these little videos and these stupid posters. It's amusing to me. He was in a little king outfit or something, a little cheap piece of shit it was, to be honest. But I don't care really. You know, I am going to go in and I'm going to break him, and that's all there is to it.
Is it not more fun having an opponent who is willing to sort of indulge you with this stuff a little bit?
It is what it is. I'm not trying to get anybody to indulge me in anything. I'm just calling it like it is, you know. Yeah, I'm sure for the fans enjoy it and it builds it up. And for me, it's business.
Do you think because you're so unpredictable, that's maybe what Jose fears the most, is he has no idea what's coming?
I would say so. Yeah, I don't fight like anybody else. I don't throw shots like anybody else. I don't move like anybody else. So it's hard to prepare for a guy like me. And then you're talking with the pressure bubble that comes with fighting me. It's not like fighting a normal man. I don't think people realize that until they are involved in it. And then there's these type of things going on. I mean, people shut down with that. Emotions play a big part in combat. So for me, it's another day. I've been doing it since I'm in here. So we will see. I feel confident that he will not be able to handle what I bring.
You often talk about visualizing the finish, and you say that often you do see how that is going to come about. Have you done that at all with this fight?
I think around the 4-minute mark of the first round, I feel I will knock him out. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned emotions a minute ago. People get very emotional when they talk about you. I literally had about a 20-minute argument with somebody last night who just refused to believe that you have talent. They feel like you spoke your way into a title fight. Why do you think it is that some people react to you in such a negative way?
I don't know. Emotions generate cash, so I don't really care what they say. You know, love me or hate me, as long as they show up and they pay me.
Conor, you have that sort of like karate type of movement that we don't see very often, maybe Lyoto Machida and a few other guys. Can you talk about that use, and do you think that's part of what's stumping guys with you?
Yeah, 100%. You know, when I first trained with Gunnar Nelson, I got to feel that karate style base and that approach, and it's definitely people underestimate the stance and the wide range. They underestimate it until they're in there, and when they're in there, it is too late. But then you have my boxing background, which is what I came up in. So people think closing the distance is the answer, but I am phenomenal in the pocket. I've been in the pocket my whole life. You know what I mean? Growing up boxing my whole life. I live in the pocket, so I have that range. And when they are forced to push and try and close that range, then they're in the pocket with me. Then, and all of these things combined, it's too late for them by then. You know, I just need one clean shot, and it doesn't even have to be in the soft part of the face. It can be around the skull. It can be around anywhere, and it's over.
Conor, with your meter.